What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends. It is Friday, so of course this is going to be an episode of Free to Play Friday. You can see here we are getting toward the end of the login calendar month, at least in Raid. It is actually the beginning of July, so nice little holiday weekend coming up here. I have Monday off, so looking forward to just kind of relaxing this weekend, playing some Raid, getting out, taking some photos, doing some photography, and just generally chilling out for a little bit. So we got 100 gems tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to pick up a 5-star chicken, which is pretty cool because we are looking to make another 6-star champion on this account. Let's go ahead and claim our gem here and our playtime reward. We got something free in the shop. Looks like we got a mystery shard, and then we do have our free gift pack here, which is pretty nice. Get some free energy there. It's always nice when they give us that. And let's go ahead and see what we're going to be up to now. The fusion is live. This is a fragment fusion. Let's see. This is for, I can't remember this guy's name, Versulf. And you can kind of see the schedule if you come in here of everything that's going to be going on. Now, I was looking through this on my main account earlier, and I'm not quite sure. We were able to get Huntmaster Rule, whatever, I can't remember how to say his full name, but the last fragment fusion they did, we were able to get on this account, even though we are free to play. But looking at this one, I'm not quite sure if we're going to be able to or not, just judging by the initial first couple of fragments that are available. And there's a spider tournament going on right now, which is good because I actually do need to farm spider, and you can see we are already in spider today doing a little bit of work. And unfortunately, the fragments are buried all the way up here, like at 1525. So that's going to be a lot of grinding on Spider Dungeon if we're going to be able to get there. You can see here we're in 14th right now in our group. So maybe if we do some grinding the next couple days, we can at least climb up into this bottom section here and get some gems or maybe some energy, which would be kind of nice. But we are going to at least try to farm Spider and see if we can get those fragments. And then the event, unfortunately, is a summon rush. So got 1,000 right here. I don't think we can even get there because all we have right now are some ancient shards, which we only have 8 of those. So it's not like we would get very much there. We'd only get 160 points. So unless we get really lucky on Clan Boss chest over the weekend and get some voids and some sacred shards from there, which is very unlikely, I don't even think we can get the first set of fragments here. So there's 10 fragments in this setup here that we're already going to be missing out on. And that's going to kind of set us back a little bit. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't usually go for fusions on the free-to-play account because, number one, it's very resource-intensive, and number two, we don't have a lot of resources to actually invest into those champions if we do get them. So it's kind of a little bit of my feedback on that, at least how we look at those on the account. Let's go ahead and pick up some stuff at the shop here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these because we are building both of these champions to hopefully help us out in Spider. So one thing I noticed today that was kind of unfortunate. We were trying to push Spider Dungeon a little bit, but just because I lack really good Spider champions, we just didn't have much luck doing that. But we got some nice books here. At least we can put on these two champions, Zephyr Sniper and Shield Guard, actually 2 very solid uncommon champions, especially Shield Guard. This guy could be used in a lot of content later on in the game once you get him into some very good gear. I know Armiger is like the most popular uncommon that a lot of people like to build. And you can see here we are building our Armiger because we fed the other one accidentally. But we got a couple uncommons here we're just kind of messing around with. We got Saurus, we've got Satyr, who, this guy actually helped me 3-star Faction War 21 on my main account. He's very, very good. Once you get him going and get him geared up, he can basically shut down turn meter for like single target boss. So he's very good on the Faction War bosses there. So let's see, we need to level somebody up here. We do have a bunch of these green champions. Let's see if we got some brews here. We can just use a couple. I'm trying not to use too many in case there is a champion training event later where we will need to use those. Just in case we do, on the off chance, have a shot at maybe getting the fragment fusion, kind of like we had with Raul, where we just decided to go ahead and go for it at the end because we had enough. We'll sort of just play it by ear and see what's going on here. So let's see, do we have any gear? Also trying to hold off on leveling up too much gear because we have an artifact enhancement event that is coming up. Let's see if there's anything here we want to just put a couple of... Okay, let's actually upgrade this banner since it does have a speed roll. It probably will roll defense though, because that's usually what happens for me. But we actually were farming Spider a little bit today, so we got some accessories. One of the things we are... Ooh, nice, we got a speed roll there. Perfect. We are lacking a little bit in the accessory department here. Gear, we got about 400 pieces. And maybe next week, I'll do a gear cleanse episode of Free to Play Friday, because we need to go through. We got a lot of stuff in here that's just, especially like in the speed gear, that's just not usable at all. So we kind of need to go through here and weed out some of the stuff that we're never going to really use. We're getting to the point on this account we can start being a little bit more picky with the gear that we're getting. But we just kind of need to go through and sell off some of it, because that'll give us a nice little bit of silver. And you know, hopefully we can start getting a little bit better Immortal and Cruel gear now that we're hitting a higher level of Clan Boss. So I think that's all of our champion objectives there. We do have an active SP boost for about another 55 minutes, so we might want to try to take advantage of that. And let's go ahead and yank some of these mystery shards. We got quite a few from Spider today, unfortunately, instead of getting gear. So there's a nice book for Satyr, as we were talking about earlier. So there we go, got a couple of our quests done. So we got 7 campaign battles and 5 arena matches as usual. We go in here and actually give him his book. But yeah, this ability right here is A2 actually. Attacks 4 times at random, decreases turn meter by 15% if it's critical. So if you use this on a single target, it's pretty good. And he's got decreased speed on the A1, so those two kind of work very well together. Decreased speed and the decreased turn meter. So pretty solid uncommon champion. Alright, let's see here. Take a look at the Great Hall real quick. Great Hall is coming along pretty good now that we're able to actually get into gold and farm a little bit. I'm kind of debating if I want to start stockpiling the rest of my gold medals, because I am eventually going to have to put one of these 6s up to 7. And then 8, 9, and 10 when we get into the later Arbiter missions. You can see here we're actually, tomorrow we'll be able to do the Void Potions and get that finished. And then it looks like we got quite a few of the rest of these. We got our 2 up to level 6, and we got a lot of these. We're going to have a straight shot all the way to the Fire Knight Stage 10 one. And then after that we've got Stage 10 Spider. And pretty much 7.5 million on Clan Boss. That's easy, we'll do that. And then we're pretty much done. Just have the Fused Relic Keeper to get done with the part 3. And we have everybody. We've got Justiciar ready to go. We've got I can't remember this guy's name, but he's ready. Templar's ready. Sorceress is ready to go, so we'll be able to fuse him for that very last step. And then we will be on to the 4th set of missions to try to get our Arbiter on this account finally, which will be nice. It's taken quite a while, but we had that little bit of trouble with the arena changing to the point you couldn't really farm too much anymore, so that was a little bit of an issue there. So let's see what we got here. I don't know if we can pick off this team. We can give it a shot, see what happens. But we've been gem refreshing quite a bit to try to get some of those lost accounts, as they are called. We did get a sleep there on Neckert, which is pretty good. But I'm sure this team is built pretty well, so we'll see what happens here. Oh, yep, okay, well, that happens. That's what happens when you are up in an arena tier you don't really have any business being in, is you have a tough time finding matches that you can actually win. I mean, you see a lot of these teams are just going to be a lot faster and better built than ours, since we are, you know, our team is probably more like high silver, maybe low gold. We really shouldn't even be in gold 4. I mean, look at this, you got these Trunda teams, like, we can't even really fight any of these. You know, Roto, Siffy, Hegemon, like, yeah, right. So, you know, they start, but here, this is what I was looking for here. So now we've got the page that we kind of were looking for, where we can actually fight some of these teams and beat them. We've been working on Kymar, so he does go first now. So speed tune is just a little bit off, but it doesn't really hurt us too bad. Now that you can set his AI up to work properly, when he starts off with that, you know, his attack to remove buffs and sleep people instead of using his recharge cooldowns. like we got a swift parry there. Okay, but this is basically what we've been doing in Arena, and you know, like I said, I don't fault anybody who's taking advantage of this right now, because you might as well just get as many gold medals as you can, you know, try to get that Great Hall built up. But see, the nice thing about Kymar going first, he can put everybody to sleep, and then he can remove those shields, so that War Maiden and Kale can hit a little bit harder when they go. And somebody's got Herndig there. Seeing that he's a pretty good nuker, but I don't, you know, my main account I actually passed on him. I didn't actually get the fusion because I wanted, the epics were a little bit better for me on my account, because, you know, it's kind of what you have to look at when you're deciding if you want to go after these fusions, is whether or not, number one, it's going to help your account. You know, two, do you have the resources? If you do complete the fusion, are you going to be able to even build the champion up? You know, is that something you want to try to go for? Because a lot of times what happens, especially if you're not spending money on a game like this, is like you're just not going to have the books, you're not going to have the gear, the resources to build the champion up. You know, something I like to tell people if they're just starting the game, you know, one of the big mistakes I made when I first started this game was focusing way too much on champions. In terms of pulling shards all the time, trying to get good champions, instead of just focusing on a core group of like 5 or 6 champions at the beginning, and just building them up to level 60 and getting them decent gear. So I kind of made that mistake, and that's actually kind of the cool thing about the minimalist free-to-play account that I'm doing right now, that I have been doing some videos for recently, where I'm only using a very restrictive amount of champions. It's actually made it a little bit, you know, I'm able to appreciate the game a little bit more, seeing how much better it goes in the early stages if I just focus on a couple of champions. Like, I'm actually progressing pretty well on that account, just where we've built up you know, just a handful of champions, and we're getting good gear on them, making them a lot faster. That was one thing on this account when I first started. The first 3 or 4 months I played this account, I was just absolutely clueless, doing all kinds of, you know, stupid things with my resources and not going after the right, you know, gear in the right places. And at some point I'll do one of those, you know, videos where you have like the retrospective, where you're like, all the mistakes I made, don't do this, you know. Maybe at the 1 year anniversary of this account, which is coming up in I think 2 months, so we're getting pretty close, which is kind of crazy to think about, that it's been almost a year that we've been playing this game. But we just got to run through a couple campaign missions here. I'm running up against it a little bit tonight. I do need to go get in a workout. I had a pretty good workout on Wednesday, so I skipped last night, so got to definitely get in there tonight. Got to make sure we stay on a program. Good way to keep from getting stressed out is to just, you know, take 30 minutes or so every evening and, you know, get into some good cardio, lift some weights, do something. Just helps you get rid of all that stress. It's been building up for the week, and a pretty busy week at work. It's kind of crazy. Even though we're working from home, it's just like we're busier than we've ever been. So there's definitely stressful times, but also blessed to, you know, still be able to work and with everything that's been going on. Alright, I've lost track. I think that's 4 missions, or 4. Now we forgot to take our guy out over here at 20 out. So we're going to lose a little bit of XP on this run, but no big deal. As Bob Ross would say, a happy little accident. I hope I can't get copyright claim for that. Now, some of you guys might be too young to even know who Bob Ross is, but who knows. Alright, let's take this guy out and see who we can put in here. See if anybody else needs levels. We're basically just working on food right now, just trying to build up a bunch of food champions so that we can start making some more 5 stars. So let's just put one of these guys in here. I think 2 or 3 more of these we should be done. Normally I would just run these on auto, but it's going pretty quick tonight. Trying to get through this XP boost. It was kind of a nice thing about clan versus clan when you're playing on a smaller account or a free-to-play account like this. It's like the week of clan versus clan, you actually wind up doing pretty well because you get all the little chickens and the energy and all that stuff. So it's somewhat beneficial to free-to-play players, although overall I still not a huge fan of the clan versus clan concept. in the game the way it is now. We actually did win this week though, which was nice. We picked up 2 more rings. The alternate account, the minimalist account I have, the clan that's in, we actually dominated the other clan, and we actually got 4 rings. So that was nice for that account to be able to pick up that stuff, plus all the resources we got there. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so we are done with the dailies. Yeah, we just restarted the weekly quest, so we're a little bit of a ways there. Monthly quest, we got a couple days to go. Advanced. Got that done there. Working our way toward that legendary book. Let's see, got that to claim there. And let's just jump in here to see. So you can see here in our vault, we do have 3 5-star chickens we've been able to make here. These guys we did all during Clan vs. Clan. We were able to get some of those, pull a couple of shards to get some of the guys here. So we kind of have to start planning. We are going to get a 5-star chicken tomorrow. We don't actually, we have a 4-star, we don't have any 5 stars. So that'll give us 4. We'll need to make 1 more, and then we can bring somebody else up to level 60. And I'm kind of trying to figure out who that's going to be. Part of me wants to bring up Gorgorab so I can put a banner on him and get some more speed out of him. Part of me wants to bring up Jareg. We just have so many, you know, we got Anax, we got Quargon, Luria, we've got, even Visix would be, Visix is actually an interesting choice, and I'm half considering bringing her up just because I need a turn meter champion. Rector would be, I mean, so many options we have. That's kind of the thing on a free-to-play. You've got to be very careful with who you invest that, you know, those resources in, but, you know, Visix has got a decent build. Her gear's not amazing, but having her at 6 stars, being able to, and getting her ascended would actually be very helpful for a couple of the dungeons we're stuck in, which are Fire Knight and Spider. That's also why we're trying to get this Armiger built back up that we had fed before. So we kind of have to consider that. But I gotta show you today where we, why we're kind of stuck in Spider is like we were basically just farming stage 12, which is Spirit. We have good magic champions, so we're not really able to go after the 6-star gear just yet because our time on the Void is pretty slow. It's not really, I mean, we could be farming that, but during the event, it's like we can't progress any further. I've been trying to get through stage 15, but with the champions we have, it's like we don't have enough turn meter control to shut down the Spiderlings or shut down the big Spider. We don't have the big damage champion because Arbiter's not built. We don't have a Cold Heart. You know, 10 months in, we still haven't pulled a Cold Heart on this account. So Spider's tough right now. We just don't have a lot of turn meter control. We have Sylar, and she's really it right now. But she's not enough, and even with all the good spirit champions we have, like Stag Knight, and Grush, and even Lugan, we cannot survive long enough to do enough damage to the 15 Spider. But so 15 is usually one of the roadblocks, and then 19 as well is also Force. So we got to figure out a way to get through this, and it's maybe just having to bring Visix up if we're able to do that turn meter. And then Fire Knight, we're kind of in the same, you know, we're right around stage 14, 15, which we need to get through all this stuff, because on the 4th set of the Arbiter missions, we need to be able to do the level 20 dungeons in order to get her. Now, Ice Golem and Dragon, we're fine. We've actually progressed all the way to Dragon 21 at this point, which is pretty cool. Again, it's kind of a slow time that we haven't really been able to farm that very effectively, but we can farm some of these lower stages pretty quickly and still go after that 6-star gear. So there is that. But that's kind of where we stand right now with regard to the dungeons. So we're going to have to figure out a way to progress Spider and Fire Knight by the time we get around to that 4th set of Arbiter missions. Let's see, we got a key in about an hour, so that's kind of nice. Now, we had the video the other night actually talking about our free-to-play clan boss team. You can see today we actually did do a 3-key, 48 million on 3 keys, so we're doing very, very well now with this composition of Skullcrusher, Aox, Grush, Frozen Banshee, and Aina. And we're like 3 or 4 million from being able to actually do a 2-key on Nightmare, which is pretty cool. Now, I have not tried a key on Ultra Nightmare. I'm not quite ready for that yet. We did run a key on Brutal yesterday with our extra one we had, and I think we were able to get the Master Chest with that. So it's kind of nice now. We can put the keys into multiple clan bosses, and we're getting 2 chests on Nightmare. Our clan's really come a long way in the last couple months. We're able to basically double chest both Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare pretty much every single day now. It's pretty awesome. So a lot of people have got their unkillable teams going on, you know. So it's pretty good. Been doing a really good job with that as a clan, so that's yielding a lot more resources. The only problem I'm having is that when on Nightmare on this account where we've been getting the double chest is I'm just not getting any shards. I'm usually getting some gear that I can't really even use. It's always flat. We did get an epic book today, which was kind of nice, but I want shards. That's what I need on this account. We need the shards. So we can start, especially void shards, so we can kind of pull and get that cold heart, and then have shards that we can use for these summoning events, so we can get more resources. Because like on my main account today, you know, I'm not really going for the fusion on that one, but I had enough sacred shards and ancient shards just from clan boss where I was able to actually get a lot of the event done. So I was able to get some 5-star chickens out of that, get some legendary books. Because if you can go deep in those events, you can get quite a few cool rewards there. So it's that's one thing to keep in mind. I will tell you on my main account where we've been hitting Ultra Nightmare, you know, 2 times every day with the chest, I have not had to spend any money on shard packs in several months. It's actually allowed me to, my spending on my main account is cut way back because, you know, between Ancient 2Xs now, just with the clan boss and farming dungeons, and then the shop ancients you get from the events, I'm usually pulling in almost 40 to 50 ancients between Ancient 2X, so there's no reason for me to buy ancient shards anymore. And then like with sacreds, I usually get maybe, if I'm lucky, 1 or 2 a week, so it's like there's just no reason to really go in and purchase those shards anymore. Just run some 3v3 here. We're about 20 minutes in, so I'm probably gonna cut this off here in just a minute so I have time to go hit up the gym, but we'll see if we can beat these people that just put in their 60s here and see what happens. Got cardio here we're going after. At some point I need to put my 3v3 teams together and tune them. You saw there Infernal Baroness used her veil instead of actually attacking, which drives me crazy. It's like, I wish you could just turn that off so that she wouldn't use that, but I need to do that on here. But I haven't really speed tuned or done anything with my 3v3 teams because I change them up so often, trying to get those daily quests done where it's like, you know, use a team that's all the same affinity or use a team from the same faction. Which is what we have here on our last one. We have all dark elves on this one here. See if we can take out this bad elf. He's usually pretty sturdy with the healing he has. See if Rule can get that hex on him. Yeah, see, he just heals up so much. And Kale hits weak against him, so that's not good. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to... I don't think we're going to be able to beat him. Okay, we've got to decrease defense out at least. Yeah, this looks like... it's one of those bad elves that's geared to like solo Dragon 20, basically. I think we'll just wind up skipping this. This is not... yeah, let's just skip that one. We took 2 out of 3, so not too bad. There we are. Can we buy... Make sure I don't forget. Okay, Drexar is refreshing. Got to make sure we're getting that Drexar shard. Don't forget that. Let's see, we got some stuff in the forge. So we got a swift parry. I'm trying to save these to just make the 5 and the 6 star at this point on the account, because we really don't want to be going for 4 and 4 star gear anymore. It's something we're trying to avoid. Let's see what kind of faction wars we have tonight. We got High Elves, Demon Spawn. I don't even remember what we were running on most of these. Okay, I'll come back and do this later, but you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode tonight. A little bit of a shorter episode, but I got some stuff that I want to go work on. And then over the weekend, we're going to actually start farming some more spider. And then also... I'm going to start working on putting a gear cleanse together. Like I said, I'll probably wait on that till next Friday so I can kind of show you guys my mentality when I go through and actually do that. And hopefully we'll come out of that with some extra silver that we can invest in upgrading gear and some other things. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions about the episode, feel free to ask them down below. I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.